Hey everybody, welcome to Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. I am Eric. On the bar for today, it's not even a whiskey. It is Foursquare Sovereignty 14-year-old single blended rum. As always, I'm going to give you a nose taste finish review. I will tell you about the value and share some final thoughts on this, and then let you know if I think it was worth the price. This is a new series for me. I'm obviously a whiskey reviewer first and foremost, but as I have been enjoying other spirits, I think in the spirit of sharing my experience with these, I will be sharing some videos like this in this spirited sample series pretty periodically. It'll be rums, it'll be tequilas, mezcals, things like that. We're going to kick things off with a bang. This is the newest release that I have found here of the Foursquare rum. And since I am not a professional reviewer in any sense of this, I won't give this a score just yet, but we will at least talk about whether it's worth the money. Okay, so here's the tail of the tape here. Foursquare is a distillery out in Barbados and really been getting a lot of notoriety of late. And that's simply for a couple reasons. Number one, they make a hell of a good product. And the reason that partially how they do that is that, as it says right here on the back, Foursquare has been aged for a total of 14 years in ex-bourbon, ex-sherry casks. So this will play well to both kind of the bourbon and Scotch fan in me. And it also here says it is not chill filtered and they add no sweetener, other flavor, or color to this. So the thing about rum and a lot of the rums that you can get normally at your grocery store in the US, that they can add as much outside sugars to it as they want, which of course is why so many rums are so sweet. Many are only around that 40% ABV and really don't have much depth or complexity to them. Well, that is going to be different here in this bottle that we just uncorked. This one is bottled at a hefty 62% ABV. It is pot and column still blend, released November 2021, and it is 14 years old in that ex-bourbon, ex-sherry cask. So it's a natural color rum. It is not chill filtered. This is what this beautiful rum looks like. Wow, the sherry really looks like it's popping on that. So let's get into it, see what this is all about. On the nose, wow. So immediately, I'm just hit over the head with heavy vanilla notes. There's a lot of depth and robustness to this. Very sweet. There's dried fruit. A little bit of like a tropical fruit, which makes sense. Wow. Incredible. As for the bourbon cask and the sherry cask, I honestly am picking up quite a bit of fruit, which I'm going to associate with the sherry cask. The dried red fruits. There's a cinnamon. Wow. Pineapple, chocolate, all that good stuff. Before I get into the tasting, I should share, I did a little bit of research on this, and this is what I found about the aging process. So it is 14 years entirely ex-bourbon, and then there's a second double maturation for 3 years in ex-bourbon barrels, and then 11 additional years for ex-sherry, and then they're brought together. So that's really what you're looking at here. Wow. Okay, that pineapple, like grilled pineapple note is really nice on this. So really, it's a lot of sweetness. It's a bit of a nice kind of heavy caramelized spice, not nearly as oak driven as I would expect. On a 14-year-old Scotch, for example, you get a lot more of that kind of cask influence sometimes, not so much here. Okay, let's give this a taste. Cheers, y'all. Foursquare Sovereignty. Wow. What a monster. Huge flavor on this. And a really viscous, sticky mouthfeel. Caramel, a nuttiness, roasted nuts maybe. Very bold flavor, tons of different fruit notes here. I'm getting like slight cranberry, pomegranate kind of stuff going on. Again, that tropical pineapple, a bit of just kind of generic citrus. The spice is huge. Cinnamon. It's a medium to medium long finish. Tons of just like dense chocolate, brown sugar notes on the back end. Wow. This is a huge, huge whiskey. I'm sorry, rum. See, there you go. Interesting thing about this. So when I think about the way this is tasting compared to some of the rums, I mean, this is like a high ABV, 18-year-old plus Scotch whiskey in the sense of how viscous it is, oily it is, complex it is. It also drinks like a higher aged, maybe like 15-year-old bourbon, maybe even a little bit more on the premium end. And the reason is because in the tropics, things age a lot faster. You have a lot more heat. That is having a much more effect on the wood and the spirit when it's in the casks, which is why you can mature things, quote unquote, a lot faster. Definitely the case with this. Let me do one more neat sip. Just huge. It tastes like a rum, but the thing that's also most noticeable here, the sweetness is not carrying all the way through and the star of the show. This really does give a lot of space to a bit of a dryness, allowing some of these other notes to come through. It's not cloying in any way. Really good stuff. Let's put some water on the Foursquare Sovereignty, see what happens. I'm going to put about 6 drops on here because I frankly don't know how much water I should be putting on a rum, nor do I think that it won't be able to handle it at this 62% ABV in 14 years. Here we go with the water on it. Fudgy brownies. Maybe some hints of tobacco and leather. Jesus. Those heavy fruit notes again. Maybe little hints of like raisin or dates. Dark, dense, rich. Here we go. Wow. Brings down the intensity just a little bit and is extending this development. Right on the back end, you get a nice surge of this kind of dried fruit, but yet juicy at the same time, coming in on the back end of the development here as it goes into the finish, which is again, nutty, caramel, chocolate, vanilla, dark fruits, berries, hints of citrus, wonderfully complex stuff. Here's one more look at the color. I mean, that's just gorgeous. And that finish is still going. I'm even getting just a little bit of a kind of a nice peppermint on the back. Wow. Okay. So this is part of their exceptional cask range. You can get this pretty available here in the US. And if you do, you're going to find this anywhere from around $120 to $140 USD. So this is a high-end, top-shelf premium rum. So final thoughts here. I'm incredibly impressed with this. This is one of the better rums that I think I've ever tasted. And maybe even one of the better ones in the Foursquare range that I've had. The complexity, the intensity is just right on the money. I love that it's not overly sweet and really allows the spirit itself and the cask that it's matured in to shine in all their glory. Again, I would say that this drinks, even with the sherry, drinks more like a bourbon than generically like a bourbon than a Scotch. I think you'd find more similarities between kind of your higher proof, higher end bourbons than you will with the Scotches, but nonetheless, this is a really, really great product. And if you are a fan of high ABV, high aged bourbons and Scotches, this is right up your alley. A little bit more on the fruit side, obviously, but really good stuff. Now, the big question becomes, would I buy this again? And at $120 some, I'll be honest, this is a really great bottle to have. I think the quality here is probably worth it for that. you know, if you want to invest in a good bottle of rum, you really can't go wrong with this. It's got the age statement, it's got the non-chill, it's natural color, it's delicious stuff. So, you know, on the lower end of that price range, I'd say grab this, you know, but if you're looking at this at the 160, 170 range or something, you can get other Foursquare products or other rums, frankly, that might be able to fit, get you close to what you would be experiencing with this, but maybe not at such a high price. So yeah, 2 thumbs up here for the Foursquare Sovereignty. Let me know in the chat, has anybody had this before? Leave a comment. Smash that like button if you haven't yet, and do feel free to subscribe if you want to catch more of these spirited sample reviews, as well as my standard whiskey reviews. So I will catch you all later, and I'll see you next time. So much.